thousands of years, one name has just echoed through history, whispered by explorers and scholars alike. Atlantis. You know the one. It's the story of this legendary superpower that, poof, just vanished overnight. It's become one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of all time. So let's dive right into this enigma.
Just think about it for a second. What if a modern global superpower with all its tech, all its money, all its influence, was just here today and completely gone tomorrow? Not a trace left behind. That's the mind-blowing scale of the legend we're talking about. It's a concept that is honestly as terrifying as it is fascinating. So where does this whole story even come from? Well, it all starts with one guy, the ancient Greek philosopher Plato. Way back around 360 BCE, he was the very first person to write about Atlantis. And he described it as more than just a city. It was a near-perfect society. That single description kicked off a search that has now lasted for over 2,000 years. And Plato's description? It wasn't vague at all. He got specific about what made Atlantis so special. We're talking about a civilization that had mastered technology, had unbelievable riches, and was governed by this deep wisdom. And then, in a single day and a single night, it was all just gone. Plato's story really left us with two huge, tantalizing possibilities. Was it a natural disaster? Did an entire continent just sink beneath the waves? Or was it something else? Some other powerful force, maybe man-made, maybe divine, that just wiped it off the map. And right there, the great mystery was officially born. Now, this mystery wasn't just something that stayed in old books. Oh no. It sparked a real physical hunt, a quest that would eventually span the entire globe and completely capture the imaginations of generations of adventurers. Really let that sink in. Over 2,000 years. This isn't some fad. You've got everyone from ancient sailors to modern-day deep-sea explorers who've been totally obsessed with this, each one hoping they'd be the one to finally crack the code. And they have looked everywhere. Seriously. Some theories put Atlantis right in the Mediterranean, close to where Plato lived. Others pointed way out to the Caribbean. And of course, a ton of people searched the vast Atlantic Ocean, since that's where Plato originally said it was.
So, after all that searching, after centuries of expeditions and who knows how many hours of research, the total number of confirmed, physical, absolutely real discoveries of Atlantis is exactly 0. Nothing. A big, stark number that kind of makes you think the book is closed on this search. But is it?
This is where the whole story takes a really fascinating turn. After centuries of looking for a dot on a map, a totally new question started to bubble up. What if we've been searching for the wrong thing this entire time? So let's pivot for a second. Let's talk about a different kind of search. Not for a lost continent, but for a hidden meaning. What if the story of Atlantis was never really about geography, but about philosophy? And this created this huge split in how people thought about it. On one side, you have the people who take it literally, a real sunken city just waiting to be found. But on the other side, you have a more symbolic view, that it was a powerful story Plato made up as a warning, a cautionary tale about what happens when a great society gets too big for its britches. The official literary term for this is an allegory. It's basically a story where everything, the characters, the places, the events, they all represent bigger ideas. It's like a story with a hidden instruction manual for how to be a better society. So could Plato have been using his dramatic story of a falling utopia to warn his own people back in Athens? Was he basically saying, hey, look what happens when power leads to arrogance and greed? The idea here is that Atlantis didn't fall into the ocean, it fell from grace. And just when you think, okay, case closed, it's just a fable, history and archaeology come along and pull us right back in. Because you see, modern discoveries have suggested that Plato's little allegory might have actually been inspired by a very real, very catastrophic event. Which brings us to our number one historical suspect. This is a candidate so compelling that a lot of researchers think it's the key to unlocking the entire Atlantis legend once and for all. Okay, so let me introduce you to the Minoans. They were this incredibly advanced Bronze Age civilization that thrived on the island of Crete. They were powerful, they were rich, they were sophisticated. I mean, they check a lot of the boxes from Plato's original description of Atlantis. And this is where the timeline gets so compelling. Check this out. Around 1600 BCE, right at the absolute peak of Minoan power, the nearby volcano of Thera, which we now call Santorini, erupts in one of the biggest explosions in human history. After that, the advanced Minoan civilization just collapses. Fast forward over 1,000 years, and that's when Plato writes his story. See the connection? That Sira eruption would have created a monster tsunami that would have just devastated the Minoan cities on Crete. So you have this real-world event, a powerful island civilization getting pretty much wiped out in a single catastrophic disaster that mirrors Plato's story almost perfectly. It's totally possible that the memory of this real disaster was passed down for centuries until it just turned into the legend of Atlantis. So, where does that all leave us? Well, we've got a really compelling historical basis for the legend, but the official case, it's still unsolved. The mystery of Atlantis, well, it endures. And while that Minoan connection is probably the strongest theory we have, it's really important to remember that there's no definitive proof. We may simply never know for sure if Atlantis was a real place, a myth, or something in between. And that, right there, really gets to the heart of why the story is just so powerful. Whether it was real or not, the idea of Atlantis, this lost golden age, this perfect world swallowed by the sea, it still inspires us. It speaks to our fascination with the unknown and all the great what-ifs of history. And that's really the question we're left with, isn't it? Was Atlantis a real place, still out there waiting to be found? Is it a faded memory of the Minoan civilization, a true story wrapped in a myth? Or is it simply one of the most powerful and timeless fables ever told? The answer might just depend on what you choose to believe.